So I started video editing back in 2021 by creating my own Fortnite montages. That's basically when you screen record yourself playing a game and then you take clips of when you kill someone and you sync that up with a music. Half a year to a year into that, I realized that the skill set that I got is actually monetizable. And obviously not the Fortnite playing skill set, but the actual skill of video editing. So I started to look up on guys on Twitter who have already monetized their video editing skills successfully and are already making a living from it. There was one guy in particular, and his name is Danzy. I really liked his work, and I thought if I replicate it, then I'm gonna be able to land clients exactly like Danzy's and make lots of money, right? So that's exactly what I did. I took one of his edits and tried making mine as close as possible to his one. And honestly, it didn't turn out that bad. Obviously, it wasn't as good as Danzy's, but I actually did know how to use all the effects and everything, so it was pretty solid. I'm hyped about it. I'm thinking I'm gonna go do some outreach now. I'm gonna link this 30-second piece that I spent like 12 hours on in the outreach message, and I'm gonna land a lot of clients. The edit that I made was in a documentary style. So what I did is I just searched up the biggest documentary channels on YouTube. I remember it was Sunny V2, Vox, Johnny Harris. It might have been some other ones as well, but the one that I wanted to work with the most was Magnates Media. The guy who was running, and actually probably still is running, Magnates Media channel to this day, his name is John. So I emailed John, I linked my Behance with the edit that I created. I was just hoping to get a reply to start working with these guys. And funnily enough, a couple of weeks later, John actually did get back to me and asked a scary, but at the same time, very exciting question. What is your rate and how much would you charge per minute of video edited in the exact same way like you just sent me? Now, keeping in mind that 30-second video that I ripped off of Danzy took me 12 hours to create, and I also had a reference, which was Danzy. Like, I literally had something to just copy. I didn't need to come up with my ideas, no anything, and it still took me 12 hours. I really did not know what to answer to John, because obviously my pay isn't going to be that great here. But to be fair, I didn't even care about that much. I just wanted to get some experience and to start working with this multi-million subscriber channel. And if I can earn some money from it, that's just like a nice bonus. So I literally came up with a random number that wasn't too high because I obviously did not want to get ghosted. And I said to him that my rate is $25 per minute. Of course, John agreed on the price and sent me the materials for the paid trial I was supposed to do. And honestly, I was so gassed about it because they have very good production quality. They have the voiceover, they have like this document with a script and with notes for editors. I was so hyped about this project and I was just gonna put my best into it. The trial I got was 1 minute long and I wasn't minding hours that I'm putting into it at all. I was just going all out. In total, it took me 5 days, which I suppose was around 40 hours of like actual work with my shitty productivity work rate back then. But anyway, I didn't mind the barely $1 per hour hourly rate. The mindset was that I have to get this job and eventually I'm gonna end up getting better over time and improving in general. So after putting 5 days into the trial and having my hopes very, very high, I sent the trial to John. But no matter the effort that I put into the trial and my barely $1 per hour rate, he hit me with, to work together moving forwards, we would actually need even more complex editing. Now, my trial wasn't bad. They even ended up using a couple of animations that I've made in the final video. But problem is, in all honesty, I just wasn't ready to work with channel like Magnates Media and match their production style. That was really the first time when I realized that video editing and actually making money with it is a grind, and you can't just go on Twitter, copy work of someone you like and expect to land really good clients, get fairly paid for your work, and get the entrepreneur location freedom lifestyle that everybody is talking about on the internet. But I'm proud to say that now, 2 years later, after a shit ton of work, I'm actually in the position where I have people on Twitter looking up to me and admiring my work. I work with my dream client. I edit the videos that I actually enjoy editing, not some brain rot Roblox content. And I make a full-time income doing it from my laptop. As I said, it took shit ton of work and it wasn't a smooth sailing since that Magnates Media trial. A full year after that point, a full year of everyday grind later, I was still nowhere. I was making like 500 to 1K a month and honestly thinking of quitting, but the only thing that kept me going is just the fact that I put 2 years into video editing. And if I quit right now without getting any results, it would just mean that I wasted 2 years. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about the stuff that I really wish I could have told my younger me when I was struggling with all this. Both the mindsets and the tactical advice that essentially helped me to get out of the rut and make the dream of making a living, doing something that I like, working with people that I like working with, come true. Let's start off with mindsets, because I really do think that even with all the blueprints, strategies, tactics in the world, without a proper mindset, you basically won't be able to make anything work. And the mindset that you need to adopt is that everything worth pursuing in life is incredibly hard and takes a lot of work, especially when you're just starting out, you don't have any momentum, nothing going for you. That's where the shit is the hardest. And I'm gonna be honest, the last couple of months I've been traveling, just working in random coffee shops, getting maybe 3 to 5 hours a day of work max, might not even be every day, and I still make around 5K a month. So maintaining something is so much easier than building it up from the ground up from scratch. I could not afford the luxury of traveling and fucking around a year ago when I was trying to make this thing work. I was just at home grinding all day, and the only thing I was thinking about is how do I make more money video editing, basically. And when I'm saying that it took 2 full years, I'm not exaggerating, because I did start video editing around 3 years ago with those Fortnite montages. But really, when I started to take it seriously was around 2 years ago. So spring to summer 2022. And right now it's the end of 2024. And it is the first time that I can allow myself to have some freedom and whatnot. A common thing I see all the successful people have is that they're willing to put the work in without seeing any results. And I really do think that that is the key to success, because what you're doing when you're putting in like 8-hour work days, day after day after day after day without any outcome, is that you're just building up that momentum for your future self to have the exponential growth like that. For example, I was coaching this guy named Oscar, and when we started kind of working together, he was making $500 to $1,000 a month, and he's a full-time education. So what he was doing is he was getting up at 4 a.m. to get his deep work in, like, I don't know, 4 hours of deep work in, probably before school. And he was doing that for months without basically seeing any success. But now he's able to make around 3K per month, charging almost 1K per video, and all that while doing way less work than he used to, just because he has all these random things going on in his life as well. But that just supports my point. Maintaining something is so much easier than building it up from scratch. Also, another thing that you need to understand is that you make money by solving pain in someone else's life. That's literally how business works. You create value in your client's life by solving their problems, so removing pain from their life, and this is exactly what they're ready to pay for. But I also think there is some kind of amount of pain that you need to go through for the universe to just allow you to have the success you want. That's just something I keep seeing over and over again. Until you pay off this pain debt to the universe, you don't seem to become the person who can have what you want, even while doing all the right tactics and strategies. So basically what I'm trying to say is there is no way around the struggle, and you just have to go through it. When you're dealing with annoying, clients that pay you $10 per video and you're working for a couple dollars an hour, you're miserable and you're not sure if this whole thing is gonna work out, just remember that the pain you're experiencing right now is the exact thing that's gonna get you the result you want. So look forward to this pain because that's something that's gonna make you grow. And just remember that all the people that are after the same thing as you, they're going through the exact same pain. It doesn't come easy to anyone. And so when it gets very, very hard, just remember that this exact pain made someone quit, and just make sure that it's not you. And I'm gonna be honest, even now I have this pain that I go through on a daily basis. Don't get me wrong, I'm super grateful to be in the position that I'm in, and I'm actually getting paid well for the work that I do. But there are still these scenarios where it's 1 a.m. and I have to send the video today, or I need to somehow make this part of the video work without making it too long, or I really want to create this effect and I know that it's gonna help me tell the story, but the footage is junky in some way and I end up spending extra 2 hours to make it look nice and neat. But in all these moments, I know that the pain I'm experiencing is exactly what I'm getting paid for, exactly what makes me valuable to the client. And I also know that someone else in my position would just half-ass this effect. He wouldn't spend extra 2 hours to make it look nice and neat. And that's exactly what would make them, lose it all eventually. All right, enough of this soppy stuff, because I know for a fact that my dumbass 2 years ago wouldn't want to hear any of this. He would just want to know this secret strategy that's gonna make him a millionaire. So let's get into tactics. What I found throughout my journey is that I've had several income plateaus, and each time there was a particular action that allowed me to break through the plateau and essentially take my income to the next level. So the first plateau that you're gonna hit is obviously $0 when you're just starting out and you don't have any clients yet. The best thing to do here is, I think, to just download software, download Premiere, download After Effects, then find work that you like and try to replicate it as close as you can by just following tutorials online. And the approach I like with these tutorials is to learn just in time instead of just in case. Basically, what just in case means is you watch these 20-hour-long tutorials, full tutorial on Premiere Pro, and the truth is that in that 20-hour tutorial, majority of it is just going to be useless crap that you're not going to ever use. But if you try to replicate a piece of work that you like and you search up problems as you run into them, that's learning just in time. I think that's just the best way to learn because it's the most practical way, the fastest way, and the outcome is going to be better as well because you're going to learn the exact tools you need. Once you have a couple of cool pieces recreated, go ahead and put them together in some kind of portfolio. You can use Carrd for that. It's just a quick and easy website builder. The name is CARRD, 5 letters, 1 word. And then with that portfolio, go ahead and do some outreach. Just find people that you would like to work with, either on YouTube, Twitter, use any social media platform that comes to your head to just find people to outreach to. But also I think a great approach at this stage is to go on some kind of freelancing website. For example, after that Magnates Media trial didn't work out that I told you about in the beginning, I went on Upwork, and I think it's a decent place to start for freelancers in general because the work to find is pretty easy. You're not going to be paid fairly well or work with some kind of very cool clients, but that's not the point at this stage anyway. The point is to just get some experience under your belt and see how the whole thing feels. With a setup like that, you can get to 500 to 1,000 a month in, I don't want to say easily, but you can do that. And that's exactly the next plateau that I've hit on my journey. And what has helped me to break it was starting my personal brand on Twitter. Twitter is the best platform for video editors to build their social presence on, which allows you to stand out amongst your competition because people who find you through Twitter, they're gonna be wanting to work exactly with you, not just with some random video editor. And they're also gonna be willing to pay extra for that. Some quick tips for your Twitter is make yourself a consistent branding, like use the same colors and fonts everywhere throughout your profile. I just found that it makes your brand look more coherent and professional, which clients really like. And when it comes to actually what to post, then obviously the most important thing is going to be your work because that's what you're getting paid and hired for. But also I used to post some kind of valuable content for other video editors, which helped me to get my name out there and build some authority in the space, which then made posts with my work perform better. And obviously, the more people see your work, the higher the chance that amongst these people, there is going to be a client that would like to work with you. So if you need some inspiration for your Twitter, or you just want to see how mine looks, then you can check that out in the link in the description. I created my Twitter when I was charging around $100 to $150 per video, and posting my own content and again having my own personal brand allowed me to raise my prices to around 500 in just 3 to 4 months. And at that point I started making around 3K per month. But that was exactly the next plateau that I've hit, and I was actually stuck there for maybe half a year or so. But what allowed me to break through that is to just go all in on one client. Now, the exact numbers are going to be different for every type of video, for different niches. But what has happened to me is I was ruthlessly just client hopping, basically working with whoever is willing to pay me the most until like 700-ish per video. But the problem is that beyond that, it's not that you just client hop to raise your prices because you literally find the person who's willing to pay you more right away. After that point, it's more like you build up a relationship with your client, and because you're getting more and more valuable to them over time, they're going to be willing to pay you more and more as time passes. So I think when you reach that threshold of where you can't just client hop no more, I think the best approach is to just choose a client that has the most potential. And to be fair, most likely that's just going to be the best client to work with as well. But anyway, you stick to this client for a very long time. You don't miss deadlines. You learn all the ins and outs of their videos. So you're getting less and less feedback with each video. And yeah, over time, you just become a very valuable asset for their business. You become a irreplaceable team member. And at that point, you can ask for a lot of money. I really think that this is the most efficient way to work with your client because, as I said, over time, you're going to be getting less and less revisions, which just makes the job easier for you, makes clients waste less time on video production process. And also, you're not thinking about stuff like overlapping deadlines, which happens very often if you have 2 or 3 clients. You're just kind of focused on your work, and that's really the most efficient way to do it. Alright, so that's it for today. I really hope that you found this video valuable because I really was just speaking from experience and sharing the exact things that I would tell my younger self. If you found this video useful, then make sure to check out the video you see on screen right now, because then you're gonna learn which 3 main lessons I've learned from charging $2,000 per single 10 to 18 minute YouTube video. So I'll see you there.